What up, guys? Today I wanted to do a showcase for Avistar, but of course some free summons. I think it's hilarious that two anniversaries in a row, they basically made a chime. Both of them are just Glazers. This is just gonna be the, what was it? Dang it, I had this thing in my head and I forgot. Let's see, the greatest Glazer of history versus the greatest Glazer of today. That's gonna be today's competition. We'll see how she fares against Chime. Dang it, still no SSRs, bro. Can I at least get someone I need? And or a treasure unit. Let's see. Anyways, I'm not building her up that much. I didn't give her a doll. I gave her this at least, because at least I can put this on someone else after I'm done. I gave her 777 though, because screw it. I'll just use a skill uninstaller like I did with what's her face, Chime. So we're gonna do this. This is just gonna throw right into the fire, you know. Screw it. We're just gonna go with that. All right. I made a couple of teams. I'm thinking that it might be the move to maybe swap out Cindy or Neon for this one, so that I can just wank what's her face off more Anis. This is so, oh, I should have clicked at what exactly she does, but this is literally just like Chimes, where the only thing she does is just support Anis. So we'll spectate for a second. Let's see. It's mainly just on her burst though. Yeah, when full burst ends, affects her favorite pop star, aka, you know, Anis. And she'll just give this attack speed right here. And let's see. This one as well. Get some projectile explosion damage up, more attack. This is literally just like Crown. She's also a rebirth skill one, which is quite interesting. I think Chime was a rebirth skill too, I think, right? I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I don't remember correctly, but yeah. The only thing though is she's gonna be killing herself, correct? Yeah, she loses HP. So we'll see how this fares. I think when I do Mirror Container, I will run Nayuta. Maybe I can heal it over, but we'll see. I just said I was gonna spectate what's her face, Avistar, but I clicked Anis on accident. Whoops. Dang it, but I kind of want to see Neon. I guess it doesn't really matter who I put as the other crackhead team where I run Maiden. I could run Summer Anis and what's her face, the Maiden. I could do that. That'd be funny. Actually, I should do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That'd be funny. Also, I saw this crackhead theory on Twitter, and I was like, dude, wait, hold on. This guy might be cooking onto something. Some dude said that maybe Irie is the manager from Anis's event. What's her name? I always call her Riz, I'm pretty sure. They said that maybe Irie is her manager after she died, so that would make more sense that Avistar's kind of just someone else, and they just happen to be in the same squad, which honestly makes sense. It's kind of awkward how it ended up being she was already dead, but what is it? It was a generated video or something, or an edited video that came out at around the same time. I guess she could have made it before she died, but dude, that low-key makes sense if you really think about it. Oh my god, look at the damage. Now, I don't really know how realistic this is. Granted, it is a free unit, right? So expecting it to be crazy is, you know, probably not its intended purpose. That being said, I will at least peep how it is. I think I should really frame this as, you know, new player comes in. Maybe they pull on the new banners, they get Anis and or Neon, and then, hey, look, Avistar is free. You can use her for the time being until you get any better units. But yeah, oh my god, she did a lot of damage. Wow, okay, Neon did a decent amount of damage. This is so funny. Oh wow, wait, she did okay damage, more than Crown. Granted, Crown doesn't do any damage, but you know, it's still pretty interesting. Anyways, yeah, we'll do that right here with type advantage, and I think later I'll just swap these two for more support. Let's just see how hard Anis can properly hit, I guess. Even though I doubt it's that realistic. I think the main issue you'll run into is trying to keep her alive. I don't remember if I ran into that issue with Chime originally. Let's see, we were Iron, so I was using her against the Poison guy, I think, right? Yeah, I think it had to be the Poison guy for the interception I was using her in. Yeah, I don't remember if she got murdered. Probably at the end, like usual, but we'll see. Other than that, I mean, that probably is the main usage. Let's say you're a newish player and, you know, you're just building teams with the units you have, you can just run Irie, Annis, and then like any other burst 3s you have. Maybe you also pulled for Neon and you got lucky and got her, then you can use those. And then like, I don't know, just fill in another burst 3 and then another burst 2, whatever you have. As long as it's like not a 40-second cooldown burst, like, hey dude, maybe you high rolled and you got I don't know, Crown, you can use her, or Nayuta, you can use her. Even someone like Nog, I still think would be not too bad, especially because then you will counter the risk of what's her face, Avistar, getting one shot with some healing in the campaign. If you're pushing campaign, then you won't be able to realistically get one shot too bad. Granted, it's not like she has the TL problem where she taunts so that eventually she's gonna get dinked and just die. Usually that happens with Tia once you start pushing the campaigns and stuff. Her taunt just kind of gets herself killed, which, I mean, if you really think about it, it's not the worst, as long as it doesn't happen too early, right? Because if you can distract your big hits going into Tia instead of your important units, then, you know, I think that is ideal. I mean, I feel like even without Avistar, Annis does a decent amount of damage. I don't remember how much damage she did last time I did this, though, but, I mean, with Avistar, she's doing more damage than my Cindy and, what's-her-face, Neon here. Alright, let's see. Let's do some shenanigans here. We'll do Summer Annis, and we'll do the Maiden. I think that'd be fun. I scrolled down way too much. Where the hell is my Summer Annis? I think I leveled her up a little bit with the Solar Raid, but also, I don't think I did. So, we'll see. Maybe I should MLB Annis when she comes back for the summer. I definitely want to MLB, what's-her-face, Dorothy, I think. And I'm not gonna lie, I think I might just use my Pity, because it's 1% and limited. I don't know if I want to summon on that, especially because, you know, I got to summon on the new units that come out for the winter, so we'll see. Which, I wonder if they'll do another Pilgrim for the winter. They could. I mean, it kind of made sense for them to do it because of the, you know, whole way they set up the summer event with the yachts and then Dorothy pulling up, you know. Makes sense why they did that, especially considering they used that then to be more lore-wise event for the future. I mean, at the time I was like, okay, I mean, this has to be just set up, which it ended up being set up, I think, mainly for the current campaign chapters, but I mean, it wasn't the worst. It could be better. I think they definitely fumbled some parts, but, you know, wasn't the worst, I suppose. If you count the current campaign chapters as payoff for that event, then I would say it's worth, but I don't know. We did get that animated scene, though, which was pretty nice, dude. Yan had a crazy-ass streak going on that event. I think her stocks went up crazy for Yan, bro. I'm still praying, you know me, baby, I'm still praying for Bay Summer and a Volume Summer alt. I know Bay already got her, you know, treasure, and she got a skin for the Coin Rush last year, but like, dude, the tan line action's gonna go crazy if she gets a Summer, please! Please, it'd be so nice. Oh, which also, there's a thought in my head that popped up too. The thing's about to end. Let me hold that thought. Dude, holy shit, look how much damage Annis did. Look at this. This is just wank session. Oh my god. Okay, wait, these two did pretty decent too. I mean, this was literally just support. Everybody on this team is just to support Annis. Oh my god, she did 930. Honestly, this isn't the most unrealistic. Like, if you can get this team to survive, maybe sub out someone then Crown. I don't think using someone as important as Crown in this team is ideal. I guess Annis is really important. I don't know if I want to throw on this team either, but hey, I mean, if you can do this on a solo raid and have everybody survive, I mean, if you're a newish player, this is gonna maybe get you past the final stage. So, I mean, you know, it's gonna be an Annis carry, but depending on if the boss is gonna rail you or not, you might be able to do a decent amount of damage. Anyways, let's go into Mirror Container and see how we fare. I could do the Annis wank off team, but I feel like I should just do this. Yeah, I'm gonna try to play a little bit smarter. Last time, I kept griefing the skill checks, not the skill checks, the breaking the glass slipper. So I'll try to play a little bit smarter, we'll see, but anyways, my thought was, oh, actually, no, I lost my train. No, I got it back. So, based off of the current campaign and how that's going, I feel like if they're going to give a pilgrim a treasure, I think it would make the most sense to give it to Dorothy. Oh my god, that hurt so bad. Nate, you good, baby? But anyways, yeah, I think giving it to Dorothy would probably make the most sense. because of what's happening in the campaign chapters. I don't think she was the first pilgrim to release, right? Was that Modernia? I think it might be Modernia. It might be Dorothy, but I don't know. Ow. I should have enough healing for this, but ow, this dude is hurting. I think the Avistar healing after the burst ends will get shared by... Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Will get shared by Anita here. So we should be fine, all things considered, but we'll see. Oh, this is gonna... Oh, wait, no. She has a thing. We should be fine. Yeah, I was like, uh-oh, I brought, like, all rocket launchers again. This skill check might be grief like the other time, but... Yeah, depending on what we can see, I feel like Dorothy might be a pretty good choice for the first Pilgrim treasure unit. Especially because I don't really know how they're going to settle with Dorothy. Because, I mean, the whole reason the things are happening in the... Oh, I meant to click. I messed up there. Fuck, man. But the main things that are happening in the campaign and all that stuff is interesting because we're getting... Without going into spoilers too much, even though, you know, I already streamed the damn campaign chapters, we're getting new versions of Scarlet and Rapunzel probably on the horizon because of stuff that's happening. However, I don't think the same can be said with Dorothy. So, like, maybe her oh, that kind of sucks. I didn't break that. God dang it. How did I not break that? Did Anis really not have enough damage there? Maybe I should be switching to Neon, but based on the campaign, I mean, I don't think we'll be getting a new Dorothy version. Maybe they could, like, think of something, but it wouldn't really make sense for Dorothy to get a new version. So I feel like it would make the most sense for her to get a treasure to give her, like, some love, because everybody else in her squad, the Pioneer Squad is what they're called nowadays. Ow, Dorothy. I'm not Dorothy. Neon, I'm tripping, bro. But everybody in her squad is getting new stuff, so it would kind of make sense that they'd give her a treasure or something. At least that's my harebrained stuff. The next treasure, like, bulk we'll get, I think will be in the summer, right? Also, dang it, no, I do have to burst to break these glass slippers. Okay, that might be the issue I was facing last time. I still think I'm doing more damage here, though. Maybe I'm smoking crack. Did I do more damage here? Okay, let me cover so that I can hit this, and I still missed. No, yeah, I definitely do have to burst. Dang it, I could have sworn last time she broke without bursting. Yeah, I might... What? Dude, I could have sworn she broke that last time without having to burst. I'm pretty sure Neon broke that last time. Let's see what happens here. Oh, I did not mean to do that either. Dude, okay. I feel like I can definitely kill Mirror Container if I just stop playing like a baboon. I mean, even with Avistar here, I did burst with, you know, out using her a couple of times on accident, but I mean, she did around the same damage, not gonna lie. I mean, you're probably better off, you know, running someone else, but it is interesting that you can play like that. Yeah, like in this team, I'd rather just run, what's-her-face, Helm, or I can run some support with Maiden. Did I do more damage here? I think I did just because I broke more glass slippers. I think last time I played full auto because I didn't give a fuck. So there's that. Very funny though that we got another Glazer unit. Anyways, let's go into some hard mode stages and then we can be done. Alright, here we are with some hard mode stages. Fortunately, we didn't really run into the problem of her dying. I think that's kind of how Mirror Container is set up though. She doesn't really shoot too much of the sides, right? The only real way your side units will die if they get hit by that big missile and they take the AoE damage. I think that's like the only realistic way a lot of your units die, at least if they're on the sides, like the far left and the far right. I think that's kind of the only way they die. But maybe I could do some testing in the solo raids, but I'm kind of not in the mood now. I said that during the showcase for Anis and Neon, but like I think we saw a decent showing in the teams I ran with them on solo raids, which I do think it's kind of weird. I think in general, or like at their max, I do think Anis is a little better than Siren, but like there's definitely an argument for personal preference. I feel like the damn focus fire thing Siren has just carries her so much, dude. I don't dude, I don't care, bro. I'll always glaze that mechanic forever, dude. It's so good. Having everybody shoot wherever you want is so good. And dude, no one else has it, okay? It's kind of the same thing that Rappy has, okay? No one else has dual type advantage, alright? So it's kind of unfair. I wonder what they're gonna release for the summer though. That probably will be, I mean, the next big thing that we get that we should be on the lookout for. Is there anything else here? Oh, there's more over here. We'll do these two and then we can be done. Yeah, like something like this for your campaign pushing as a new player is probably the move. Obviously, I mean, these three are interchangeable. I mean, if you are a new player and you surprisingly pulled Anis and Neon, hey, you can use both of them and, you know, push through the campaign decently well. The problem, though, that I did find, I don't know if I remember mentioning it. I think I did, but with the full, like, electric team, in case you want to build, like, I don't know, mono electric, is you're going to run into problems with the enemies. I don't remember what they're called, but the enemies that only take 1 damage, that you literally just have to machine gun down, the electric team cannot deal with those enemies. I mean, makes sense, right? Half the team is all rocket launcher. And I mean, if you're using mono electric, then literally all of them are rocket launcher or snipers. So, you know, at least the big electric units, like, let's say you're using burst 2 like Evangelion Mari, or let's see, what other unit would you be using for like mono electric? I mean, even Bunny Aid, or I guess Naga. No, Naga wouldn't help against those units either. I mean, like if you're using burst 1 Rogue, but I mean, if you have Anis, you're probably using her for the burst 1. And I mean, your attackers for electric, especially if you're doing like some support electric type thing with like Summer Anis or the Winter Maiden, guess what? Summer Anis has a shotgun, not going to help against those enemies. Summer Maiden has a rocket launcher, we're back at square one. So, you know, you're bound to run into those problems if you're using mono electric pushing campaign. Which, I mean, does kind of limit the team. If you're going to be like comparing these units against each other in all forms of content, then I mean, that is going to take into account. I say that, but you know, I never take PvP into account because I'm not a PvP guy, so there's that. But oh well, honestly, like for what Avistar is, which is a free anniversary unit, I don't think she's the work. They at least gave her a gimmick, right, for new players, in the same way they give Chime a gimmick for new players. Granted, it is kind of more grief for Chime's case because, you know, the 3rd anniversary unit was not Crown, so you're gonna have to either A, get lucky and pull her if you're a new unit, or B, you know, you're gonna already have her, so you're not gonna be a new player, and there's just gonna be like a niche kind of team for you to run for fun if you're doing, you know, a Crown carry build. Which isn't really the case this time because, I mean, Avistar is the free unit they gave, and she buffs, you know, the new unit that is out, which is Anis. So, I mean, there is some shenanigans to be done there if you're a new player. So I can't really shit talk her too much. But, I mean, she is a free unit, so, I mean, this is kind of bare bones. Not much to really expect her support-wise because, I mean, all she does is buff Anis and kill herself. That's it. Literally. That being said, investment-wise, I mean, I would not recommend to invest in her at all. She will do like no damage. She's just there to support Anis, and you're probably going to be replacing her very quickly, even if you are a new player. So there's that. Like, if you're a new player, I would recommend running her for the meantime, just to make Anis hit really hard. And then once you start building more teams, you can start working towards like Helm Treasure, who's nice on off rotation, so you kick her off. Or, I mean, if you get Maid Mast, Maid Anchor combo, you can do that, which is probably strictly better for most things in this game, like your bossing and your campaign pushing and that stuff. So there's that. But I mean, I don't know, if you want to min-max her, then I guess max ammo rolls. You can do some, whoops, I didn't mean to click that. You can do some max ammo rolls, you can do some elemental rolls, I suppose, or some crit attack, stuff like that. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, don't prioritize her. You're probably going to replace her regardless. And also don't really put a Q on her. If you want to give her like a, what is this called? The potency HP. Is that just called the health cube? Yeah, this one, the heal up cube or whatever. If you want to just give her this potency, that wouldn't be the worst because, I mean, this will help heal her when she's, you know, trying to kill herself. I mean, with this proc, if she goes below 25, like the first time, activates, I think this is a one-time thing though, right? I'm actually not sure how some of these cubes work because low-key they're not even that worth to use because they're just not that good. I guess mainly just put them on to give this elemental attack buff, but I mean, for the most part, this first effect for most cubes is just not as good as the blue cubes. It's like not even close. Let's see. I mean, this one wouldn't be the worst. Try to keep her alive. Or I guess this one's not the worst either. Get a nice burst gauge up. Especially if you're using her instead of Helm, I guess, because you're a new player. And building your way up towards Helm. I think this is not the worst either. That being said, I don't know if that team struggles with burst generation. I mean, if you have Annis, she's going to be given a decent amount of burst generation just raw, right? I think hers is just raw. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's just raw right here. Only yourself is alive. She gives raw burst gen, which is pretty good. And then I believe What's-Her-Face also gives burst gen. Neon right here. Yeah, this one. The problem is this is kind of scuffed because it's based off of the gauge thingy she does, which the gauge thing that she does is kind of scuffed in and of itself because of how they made it. But I mean, she's decently strong even without the whole gauge shenanigans. But I mean, hey, it's just something extra, I suppose. And like half the time that gauge thing isn't going to really be up because if she's at max stack, she's going to dump it. And I mean, starting off, the gauge is going to need time to charge up anyways. So, you know, it's going to be kind of wonky. I wonder if it would have been better if they kind of made her a bit worse, but made the gauge easier to fill. I feel like they could have made the gauge be able to be filled on the other person's burst. I think that'd be fine. Because, like, right now, it's what? You burst, and then I think she has to burst twice more. So then the next time she bursts, then she'll have max gauge, I think. Honestly, I haven't seen if some crackhead yet has just built her full charge speed and see how fast she can build that gauge up. But I don't think you can do that in less than 2 bursts. So that's her having to do 4 bursts, and 2 of them will be the full gauge or whatever, I'm pretty sure. But whatever, anyways, that's enough rambling. Honestly, for what Avistar is, not the worst, but I mean, am I going to use her? Probably not. There's just way better stuff to use. But I mean, if you're pushing campaign very, very early, and I mean, you pulled for Annis and got her, I mean, this is going to be a pretty decent option to just, I mean, throw on the team. It's definitely better than like an SR that I was running back in the day when I started, you know. I think I was using the whole Re-Zero setup, alright? I was using Amelia, Rem, and then I was using Ram for Burst 1. Shout out to Ram the Goat. That is so funny. If we do Wave 2, you think they're going to give more SRs? Honestly, whenever they do the collabs, they usually do SRs. I don't think they... No, they did one for Evangelion Wave 2. Oh, wait. I don't think they... No. Kuromi. What was her name again? I don't remember. She was the SR for the Licorice Recoil. Yeah. I almost forgot. I was like, yo, they didn't do one for her. Yeah, they did. Yeah. And then Lily was for Stellar Blade. Not too shabby for a free unit, I will say. Pretty funny, though, that they copy and pasted, you know, Chime here. But, I mean, at the very least, they make it usable. I feel like all of the free units, though, have been decent for new players. I definitely thought Modi from last year for the 2.5 anniversary, the Siren event, was not too bad for new players. It was kind of like a mini crown. But, like, obviously, her things are going to scale terribly once you start getting further into the campaign and stuff. But, like, for what it's worth, it wasn't the worst. So, you know, all things considered, these guys at least put some thought into making free units, which I have to give them credit when it is due. But anyways, yeah, I think that is it for Avistar here. Let me know what you guys think about Avistar as a free unit. And if you want to support the channel, subscribing and sharing is always appreciated. And I'll catch you guys later.